Already the political debate over Section 377 is getting more heated. The Congress is making the right noises, like we said. The Congress president herself threw her weight behind the repeal of Section 377. And now the ruling party has taken the battle into the BJP camp, where spokesperson for the party, Sanjay Jha, tweeted, "Mr. Modi, your silence is deafening, sir. India and its people, young and old, want to know what's your opinion on Section 377. We're waiting." It is indeed a very interesting statement that has come from the Congress, because so far there has been, like Sanjay Jha said, a deafening silence from the BJP camp, with maybe the exception of Piyush Goyal, who has on Twitter, in fact, expressed his opposition to Section 377. Barring that, we've heard only evasive answers from the Saffron Party, where most leaders have chosen not to speak about it. Personal opinions, though, have been expressed, where they said they are for individual liberty. Sanjay Jha, in fact, is with us on the phone line, the gentleman whose tweet you just read. Sanjay Jha, it's a very interesting turn that things have taken, because the BJP is usually a very active party when it comes to the current issues. We see their prominent leaders either blogging or tweeting, if not addressing a press conference. What do you think explains their complete silence on this particular issue?
Can I be very honest? I think they must be waiting for an approval from their high command in Nagpur, from the RSS. I think this is, an issue that deserves the reaction that we have seen all over India yesterday, and frankly, it's something that deserves to be debated very, very seriously in Parliament. I think it's very important that we should hear from political parties a resolve to ensure that kind of injustice will not be meted out to the individuals in this country. And therefore, this is not a matter that can be left in cold storage, where the party needs to, deliberate on it. If they are deliberating on it, they should do so and let us know what their views are. Because I think India has changed. I think, Padmaja, you did it very bad. BJP is usually very prompt in terms of reactions to XYZ events. Since we heard Mr. Modi talk of Article 370, they talk of Ram Mandir, they talk of uniform core. But this is something that affects the people of India. This is not just about, people from the LGBT community. This is about expression. This is about respect for your right to live a life. And I think we need to all value it. So I think a modern, progressive, an India that needs to be liberal, that's the way the society has evolved. I think this entire Section 377 is Jurassic, is antiquated. And therefore, it's important for political parties to express themselves. I think we have every right. And that's the reason why I tweeted. Because I think someone who aspires to be the Prime Minister of India, that these are leadership decisions or issues that we must have a view on. And I think that's the reason I wanted to question.
Indeed, if Mr. Modi's silence is problematic, equally problematic is the fact that perhaps the most strident voice we've heard on the issue from within the BJP is that of Yogi Adityanath, who's saying that this is a law whose time had come. It's a law which is needed to prevent corruption of the morals of society. Do you get a sense that in either keeping quiet or opposing the repeal of 377, the BJP will find itself on the wrong side of history?
Well, let me tell you, they will obviously, they look at everything from the prism of politics. But I don't think the people of India, and this is not just about a young India or a middle-aged India or an old India, I think people, have a right to live their own private lives no matter what age they are and where they come from. I think it's somewhere down the line, I read a couple of tweets of Dr. Subramaniam Swamy, who is now a big voice of the Bharatiya Janata Party. And if you read some of his tweets, it's abhorrent. I think it's contemptible. And I'm willing to tell you right now on your channel that I read some of his tweets from somebody else, and they were shocking in the way that the thought process works. If since he is virtually the spokesperson for the BJP, I'm assuming that is what the BJP feels. If they feel Mr. Swamy is right, they should say so. So that at least the people of India will know where the Bharatiya Janata Party comes from.
Well, absolutely. In fact, the silence of the BJP will probably end up damaging it more, because a young India, a progressive India, 21st century India is looking to the prime ministerial candidates of BJP, wondering what he thinks about issues like these, which concern not just a certain group, not just homosexuals, but basic civil rights. Sanjay Jha, it's admirable what the Congress president has said today. Your leaders, some of them yesterday also had been either on television or on Twitter talking about how they are against this archaic law. But in the past, when the Congress president has shown intent about something like this, whether it be the criminal amendment bill after December 16, whether it be the food security bill, it barely took any time for the legislation to be pushed through. Why can't we see something like that happening in this session itself?
Padmaja, I can promise you, you heard, Mr. Kapil Sibal some time ago. I mean, we will do our level best to try and see how quickly we can get this through, because there is an election coming up, and end of day, this is the last opportunity we really have to make things happen. This obstruction in Parliament is really the wrong way to go forward. So I think it's very, very important that over the next couple of hours and days, I think there has to be Padmaja, the critical part here is that I think as a media, I think we face each other so often, and as part of the government, we are very often questioned, which is okay, which is in a democracy is fine. But you need to get the views of political parties, in particular the BJP and other political parties as well, to know where the leadership is. Are they keen to get this through? Unfortunately, we don't have the numbers to perhaps do it on our own. So this is a great time for, I think, everyone, including the media, which I think was justified in escalating this issue yesterday, and I'm happy to see it all over the place, to demand people to answer. You cannot say that we will take 5 days to deliberate on it.
Okay, which is great, but the numbers part will come later, Sanjay. Has the Law Ministry prepared a note for the Cabinet yet?
Well, I think I'm sure Mr. Sibal's office and everybody else, now that we are at the Congress president, making a statement and doing so without wasting time in such an explicit manner, it goes to tell you that we are very, very keen. Our intentions are to make an amendment to it as soon as possible. So I'm hoping that, over the next couple of hours and days, you will see some very, very quick movement on this.
All right, we're keeping you, we're going to hold you to your promise. Sanjay Jha, thanks very much. We'll speak, in fact, probably in the evening about the promise that you've made. Major developments, says Sanjay Jha, in the next couple of hours. We'll be waiting to see how that happens.